Hi yogis, it's Kate, long time no see. I'm back today with a flow about intentional movement. So I love the idea of flowing, right? And we get the energy moving. But today you'll find there's going to be a few places where we kind of hold or move a little bit more slowly, really with the focus on bringing intention into the movement. So I hope that you enjoy it. Remember, as always, to listen to your body, make sure you're staying safe, and enjoy your practice. Let's get started. Okay, yogis, let's get started. Today we start at the top of the mat. Feet are going to come about hip width apart. Lift the toes for a moment. Feel the other pressure points of the feet press into the earth. Nice job. And then let the toes come on down. Go ahead, make sure the tailbone is pointing towards the earth, keeping the pelvis nice and neutral. Lift the top of the head a little bit closer to the ceiling and find your Tadasana. Arms by your side. Let the eyes close down. And then when you're ready, bring the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Or as always, one hand on top of the other, yogi's choice. Allow yourself to focus on your breath for a few moments. Feeling the rise and fall of the body with every inhale and exhale. Allow the breath to come in smoothly through the nose and exit smoothly through the nose. No matter where you are in your day, let everything just stay outside of the walls, off the mat. Just simply focusing on that breath. From here, bringing ourselves into gratitude, noticing what you feel grateful for today. No right or wrongs. Whatever is coming to your heart, to your mind, let it be. Don't judge it. Allow yourself 2 more nice breaths here, whatever that means for you in this moment. Just making sure you're moving in and out of the nose as smoothly as possible. When you're ready, let the hands come down by your side. You can let the eyes start to float open. Let's get right into it today. Take a nice deep inhale, arms sweep out and up. And on the exhale, take that forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. And exhale to release down. Let's pause here. A nice deep bend in the knee. Make sure that spine stays nice and long. So rather bend the knees than the spine. Let the head hang, let the arms hang. You can even take opposite hand, opposite elbow here, allowing a ragdoll to happen. If the shoulders are tight, you may interlace the fingers behind the body and let them open. Again, yogi's choice as we start to warm up the body. Maybe a little side to side sway. A little release for the neck. Making sure that breath is coming in and out, staying smooth. Beautiful. Release any holding you may have, and then inhale at halfway up, nice flat back. And then exhale, release one more time. Reverse that swan dive, come all the way back up the way you went down. Press the palms together. Exhale down through heart center. Beautiful. Again, inhale, arms out and up, reach tall. And then exhale, swan dive, hinging at the hips, forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Coming back down to that forward fold. Remembering the knees can and probably should be bent as we start to warm up here. And then, as you're ready, just start to bend one knee and then the other. Get into the hips a little bit here. Feel the blood rushing to your head, knowing yourself, knowing if it's okay for you. Always being mindful if you have anything that may not be conducive to. Beautiful. You can even start to lift the heels. The hands might want to come onto the ankles, or maybe it feels better supported here. Again, just work with your own body. Make your own smart choices. Whatever is right for you. Beautiful. From here, inhale, lift halfway. Beautiful. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to step back right into our plank. If you want the knees to come down, they can. I'm going to start nice and high with my knees lifted. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Pause for a moment. Pull that belly button into the spine. And then when you're ready, lift the hips. Release back. Downward facing dog. First down dog, maybe you want to start pedaling out the legs. Nice and slow. Just getting in the body, feeling comfortable. Again, finding the movement that's right for you. And then eventually finding stillness. So make sure the fingers are spread nice and wide. You can put a nice bend into the knees as we start to just warm up the body. Remember, the goal is a nice long spine. Here we go. Next inhale, start to roll yourself forward. So we're looking to come into our plank pose and rolling ourselves forward. Now I have to scooch my feet back a little bit, so you may have to do the same thing. No worries. Coming into that plank. And then focus here. Pull the belly button to spine. Start to lift the hips that way. So the first is the belly button and spine, and then pressing back into our downward facing dog. Adjusting as needed. Staying here for a few breaths. And then go ahead one more time. We're going to inhale, and pull ourselves forward. Back into our plank. Beautiful. Pulling that belly button to spine. And then when you're ready, go ahead, drop the knees down. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees, and right into a few rounds of cats and cows. So pulling the belly button towards the spine as you exhale, pressing the hands to the earth, dropping the head. And then inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, pulling the heart forward. Exhale, working with your breath. Really focus on pulling that belly button to the spine, pressing and opening that backside of the body, dropping the belly and lifting, opening the front of the chest. One more round. And remember, go at your own pace, right? The goal is to work and link your breath and movement. So if ever run too slow or too fast, that's the beauty of a video. Pause. Awesome, you guys. From here, let's take the gaze just over the left shoulder to start. And a little C-action. Yep, beautiful. Back through center, over the other side. Lovely. Back through center again. This time, left leg will come back behind us. Ball of the foot on the earth. You know I love this trick. Press the heel back. Little bonus stretch for the leg. Then belly button to spine. Lift the leg straight back behind you. And then go ahead and bring it across the body. Let it find the earth. Beautiful. And just keep the shoulders nice and square here, right? We tend to kind of lean over. We'll lose the stretch. So shoulders stay nice and square. Square to the front of the mat. If you want to find a little movement here, you can, right? Forward and backwards. Beautiful. And come through neutral, pull the foot off the earth, Bring it back behind you, bend the knees, and go ahead and get into some hip circles. So 3 or 4 times forward, depending on your pace, and then reverse. Trying to keep the top of the body as steady as possible, really just working into those hips. Lovely, you guys. Let's bring that right leg back now. Remember, ball of the foot first. Engage the leg, get the stretch, press the heel back. Then pull the belly button to the spine, activate the core, lift the leg across the body, let it find the earth, and then bring maybe that gaze over a little bit. Feel the stretch. So you notice my shoulders stay right square to the top of my mat. I'm not kind of leaning in anywhere, really focusing on that. Maybe find that forward and backward, a little bit of movement. Nice job. All right, engage the core, pull the belly button to spine, make sure it's really active, lift straight on back, bend the knee, and the same thing, find some hip circles. So driving the knee all the way around, making this nice big circle. 4 or 3 if you did 3 on the other side, forward and reverse, right? Keeping yourself even. Beautiful, you guys. And then from here, releasing down, pressing the hips back, finding our first child's pose. So remember, as always, knees can be together, knees can be nice and wide. You let the neck release wherever you are. If the head is on the earth, you can let the head rock side to side. If you're up a little higher, you can always potato the hands. Potato stack, right? Hot potato. Wherever you are, find some stillness for a moment, some calm. Let the breath move in and out. Connecting back to it. Awesome. Let's press up as you're ready. Go ahead, come into tabletop and just find a little movement. As always, come into those cat-cows if that feels best for you, or just find a little bit of more organic movement. Rocking side to side. Whatever you feel is right for your body. From here, let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, come back into that downward facing dog. Beautiful. Get yourself aligned. Remember to bend the knees as deeply as you need to in that down dog. The goal is a straight spine, not straight legs. Beautiful. From here, weight comes into the left foot. The right leg's going to lift up and back. Nice 3-legged dog. Nice deep inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, pull that knee forward, plant it in between the hands, help it if you need to, drop that back knee. Inhale, lift the chest, let the pelvis drop, back toes can be tucked or untucked, your choice. If you've got your blocks, great space for blocks to give the chest a little more room. Find your breath. Notice where you're feeling the stretching, the sensation. And if you'd like, you can always lift that back knee. Like the knee down though sometimes. Feels nice. Nice deep inhale. Here we go, get ready to move on the exhale, shift the hips back. We'll come into our half split. So remembering the goal is to get that stretch through the hamstring. So sometimes we can come back here easily and lose the stretch. So find the stretch where you're gonna get it the most bang for your buck, right? But remember, sensation, not pain. You want to feel a strong stretching sensation, but you never want to feel like it's painful. Beautiful. Toes can flex back towards the body of that front foot. And then on your next inhale, come on forward, back to that low lunge. Tuck the toes, lift the leg, step the right foot back, come into our plank and hold for a moment. So I love holding the planks because it's a chance to work the core. It's a chance to practice that plank. It's a muscle memory, right? So we're back into that beautiful plank pose. And then when you're ready, you can flow through if you want to put a chaturanga in here, or just lift the hips, press them back, come into our downward facing dog. Find your space here, right? Move and adjust as you need to. Maybe even a bend to the knees. Lovely. Weight comes into the right foot this time. That left leg lifts up and back, right? Keeping the hips nice and square. So sometimes we tend to try to lift the lift the leg and the hip goes all crazy. Try to keep the hips nice and square and lift just the leg, just the foot. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it forward, step the foot in between the hands, and arrive, right? Get yourself in a good position that's right for you. Drop that back knee, lift the chest forward. Breathe. Ooh. So moving a little slower today, a little bit with more intention. And here I like to activate the abs, so I'm pulling my belly button to spine, but I'm also trying to drop the pelvis a little bit. So there is a little part of me that wants to get a little more stretch when I'm here, just do when the knee is down. And so you can drop the pelvis, but make sure you keep the core engaged. It's going to help the low back. Breathing. Awesome. Next inhale, lift the chest. Come on forward, and then use the exhale to float on back into that half split. Remembering what we said before, sometimes coming back here, you lose that sensation. So just find the spot that's right for you. Pull those front toes back towards the body. Try to keep the back nice and long, the spine nice and long as always. We're starting to round. And if you feel absolutely no sensation, then go ahead, take a nice deep inhale and add a forward fold in onto your half split. For those like me that feel tons of sensation right now, just keep breathing in the nose and out the nose. Next inhale, walk yourself forward, come back, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, slide the foot back into that plank pose, you guys. So really slow and intentional. Make sure the core is engaged, belly button to spine. Make sure you're really activating the shoulders. So press into the hands, but not just the palms, press into the fingertips. Make sure that whole hand is pressing in. The toes are active, my legs are engaged. We're not this, we're not this. We're really pressing up and out. Rather be a little more lifted in your plank than the sag, right? One more breath. Then go ahead, you can flow, add your own vinyasa here, or just lift the hips, press them back, and come into your downward facing dog. Beautiful, you guys. Whew. Let's take a nice deep inhale together, and exhale through the mouth, let it go. Another one, inhale, and exhale. When you are ready, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat. Hop, step, walk, jump, however you want to arrive. Nice deep inhale to bring up halfway, regain the length of the spine. Exhale, release. This time as you inhale, we'll sweep the hands forward, drop the hips, come into our chair. So as always, feet can be together or feet can be hip widths apart. Lots of ways to practice chair. The most important part is that our spine is nice and straight. We're pressing the weight into our heels, and we're activating our thighs, our glutes. Breathe. That's the most important part, I guess, breathing, right? Arms are reaching forward. Remember, arms can always come to the side or heart center. wherever is comfortable for you. And we hold. Whew. Find the breath. Activate. Belly button pulling towards the spine, so you don't want to be arching. Try to stay nice and neutral, even if that means you come up a little bit. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, let's forward fold down. Inhale, lift halfway. Beautiful. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. We'll stay on the ball of the foot here. When you're ready, rising up into our crescent warrior. Fingers nice and high. And adjust, right? Back heel coming over the toes. Nice deep bend in that front knee. You see I'm adjusting myself, right? It's hard to nail the exact posture you want every time. So get into it, right? Adjust, feel what feels right, what feels good. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Hold the pose, not the breath. From here, hands come together in heart center. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Let's take that twist. So left elbow hooks over that right knee. And we find our twist. If you'd like, you always have the option of opening the arms, right? So really working that left elbow around the right knee. Or just staying with the palms pressed together. Awesome, you guys. When you're ready, come back up through center and plant the hands, releasing them onto the earth. Now from here, that back foot is going to come in and down as we set up for our warrior two stance, right? So we get our warrior two legs. Our front heel is in line with our back arch. And as we feel ready, we cartwheel up and come in to our warrior two. Right? So we go from that closed hip, hips facing front in our crescent, to our warrior two through a nice safe transition. Fingers reaching forward and backwards. Shoulders above the hips, really reaching, feeling good. And just moving slow today, right? Slow and intentional, where we're holding postures a little bit longer. I love flow, I think you know that, but sometimes it's nice to stop, move a little slower, enjoy the pose a little bit, right? When you're ready, hands to the hips. Straighten that front leg, turn the toes, turn them in. We're gonna hinge at the hips as we come down into our forward fold. Hands stay in the middle today. And just let your body release down. Now with the hands planted, come up halfway, get that nice long spine, right? And then release back down. And from here, walk the hands forward a little bit and come into almost like a down dog top with that wide-legged bottom. So the opening of shoulders, the fingers pressing in. Find the breath. Walking the hands back underneath and then going all the way back to the top of the mat. Beautiful, you guys. We'll step that right foot back to find our plank. Here's where you can insert your own vinyasa if you'd like, or lift the hips, press them back, come into our downward facing dog. Awesome, you guys. Breathe. Find that down dog. If you need a little movement, great. If not, no worries. Find the stillness. And then from here, walk the hands back to the feet at the back of the mat. So we find that nice forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. So reverse our swan dive, come all the way back up to the top. Woo, press the hands together. And exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into some balance work here. We'll ground the left foot into the earth and start to lift the right knee up. Now, as always, we can start with our toe tapping, right? Depending on where your balance is. You can grab a wall, or for me, I've got my mantle here. You can grab onto that. If you're doing good with the toe tapping, then go ahead and lift that knee all the way up. Yeah, awesome, you guys. If you're feeling really good, you can extend that leg all the way out. Woo. Breathe. Beautiful. When you're ready, release from wherever you are. Give yourself a little shake out. And then we're going to repeat that action this time. So find your Tadasana, right? Get yourself grounded. Weight into the left foot. Toe tapping. Knee bent. Leg straight from wherever you are, right? And remember, hands can be at the side. They can be at the hips, heart center. Just breathing. Beautiful. Releasing down wherever you are, back into our Tadasana. Take a nice deep inhale, arm sweep out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release down, find the forward fold, and then slowly walk your hands back into your downward facing dog. Breathing. Awesome, you guys. When you are ready, we'll walk, hop, step, jump, however you want to do it, back to the top of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. And release on the exhale. Plant the hands. Right foot goes back this time, so left foot forward. Keeping on the ball of the back foot, and when you're ready, lifting up into our crescent warrior. Then finding all those spaces you need to adjust. Back heel above the toes, nice deep bend in the knees. Maybe shake the shoulders out to relax. Pinkies come forward a little bit. Open up and find your space. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. And if you can, think about this center for a second. Pull the belly button in, right? So we have a tendency to kind of arch this all back and press the belly forward. We really want to keep the pelvis neutral here. So the tailbone's facing down, the belly button's active towards the spine. Right? And you might need to adjust once you do that. You might find you need to shorten the gait or widen the gait. That's a really important piece, that we can be nice and neutral through here. When you're ready, hands come to heart center, nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, take that twist. Ooh, so you'll see here my hands are pressing together. You can always open up if that's your jam today. Sometimes I like to just work on pressing the hands together to help get this top shoulder a little bit more open. Right? So you've got that leverage of your own body to help you find that twist. And you can inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, find a little bit more twist, right? Inhaling and exhaling. Hi, bud. Little guest appearance. When you're ready, come back through center and release the hands down. So this time, right, that back heel comes in and down. We set up those warrior two legs, and as you're ready, we'll cartwheel the arms up and we'll come into our warrior two. Now you notice sometimes I straighten my front leg when I come into warrior two. My hips get a little funny, so that for me really helps kind of neutralize before I come from that cramped position all the way up. So a little trick that works for me. Remembering that this is open hips, right? Fingers reaching forward and backwards, shoulders over the hips. Most importantly, finding that breath. Beautiful, you guys. When you're ready, hands to the hips, straighten out that front leg. We're going to turn to the side, but I'm going to turn so I can face you guys. So it's funny to have my back towards the camera. This time, turn the toes out, right? Take a bend in the knees. Let's find a little Skidasana, side to side. Right? And I'm staying nice and relaxed and calm up here today. If you want to get low, if you want to get all slinky and crazy, go ahead. But for me today, I'm just really feeling the sensation, moving intentionally, making sure I'm feeling nice and good. And again, you can play here with widening your stance or shortening your stance. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we'll come back to the top of the mat, so you can turn the toes to face the top of the mat. Back into this place, and bring the foot back, and we come back into our plank. Now again, here is where you can add your vinyasa, or like me, you just lift the hips, press them back, come into downward facing dog, just like that. Find your down dog. Find your breath. And then from here, walking the hands back towards the feet. We're doing this again, right? Balance on the other side. Take that inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, release. And then reverse that swan dive all the way up. Try not to hit objects in the house. And exhale, down through heart center. Beautiful. So right foot into the ground this time. Left leg starts to lift. Right? So always start with those toe taps, then the knee. You're feeling good here. Go ahead and play with straightening out. One thing to keep in mind is that we want to keep the hips neutral, right? We don't want to start leaning into one side or the other. So sometimes having the hands on the hips can be a nice indicator, right? See, I can feel myself. I'm leaning back, so I want to pull the core in, straighten through that leg, and do the best you can. Okay, ready? Releasing that. Ooh, I needed to release. I was coming down no matter what. Give yourself that shake. And then let's do it again. So find that grounding, the Tadasana. Right foot into the earth and come right back into it. So yogi's choice, toe taps, knee up, straight leg. And so for me, the straight leg is really actually quite challenging. So I like it because I have to think about like how I'm adjusting my body, keeping my hips. I can do it obviously, but it's like I feel like I'm all crooked. It's a lot of work for me to adjust to the place. And that's why we call it yoga practice. Let's take one more nice deep breath. Feel the shaking happening, my leg dropping. Whew, and release it down. Nice job, you guys. Give a little shake. And then go ahead. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Arms up. Let's get back onto the mat. Forward fold. So we swan dive down. The half lift on the inhale. Exhale to release. Walk the hands forward. Ooh, back to our downward facing dog. Just find your breath here. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's shift forward to our plank pose. So adjust as you need to. And we're going to be doing, it's not really a yoga pose, but I've been calling them calm mountain climbers. So, a traditional mountain climber, you're like, really, these are calm. These are yogi mountain climbers. So, activate the core, right? Pull the belly button into the spine. Press through the hands. Here we go. Right knee comes in and back. So it's really slow and it's really controlled. And you don't have the momentum like if you were doing this from a down three-legged dog, right? You've got the momentum, the movement to distract you. This is just focusing on your muscles, using your core. Left knee in. There's a little pause you can see. We've got two more. Knee, back, knee, back. Nice job, you guys. Knee, back, knee, back. Beautiful. Drop the knees. Press on back. Come into a child's pose. Whew. Now you can take an active pose here, or you can bring the hands by the side. So your choice. We're going to come back into an active child's pose in a moment. So you can stay in that, or you can release and relax for a few breaths. All right, yogis, let's bring our hands back to the top in front of us. Let's tent onto the fingers. So you may need to come up a little bit for this. We're just going to walk the hands over to the left side. And I like to lift up here, and then when I'm feeling good, I release back down. So sometimes you'll just walk this, walk instead of lifting, but I kind of like the lift. Helps give me a little more reach and a little more length. If you're feeling good, that right hand might even sneak up onto the top of the left for a little more stretch. Tent onto the fingers, lift up, walk back through center, and then of course, one side and then the other. And once you get to that right side, just release on down. And you'll notice a difference from side to side as you start to open up the side body, and pay attention to the hips as well. So as we're on the right side, the left hip might want to lift a little bit and shift, really ground both hips down into the earth, especially the opposite hip of the side you're stretching to. So in this case, that left hip wants to lift a little bit. You can even press the hands into the earth to help guide it back down. Connect to the breath. Smooth inhales and exhales in and out of the nose. Tenting back up onto the fingers and coming back through center. We'll start to just slowly lift our way back up, swing our legs around, and come onto our bottoms. Beautiful. Bringing the hands just down by our sides, down by our hips, fingers towards the toes. Let's come into a modified bow by lifting one leg. And actually, I'm going to use my padding. Lifting one leg and then the other. Now you can always just do this one leg at a time and kind of switch in between, making sure you even out both sides. So with that said, we're going to stay right here. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to open up. Inhale to come up, and exhale to release. Inhale to come up, and exhale to release. Inhale to come up, and exhale to release. In, straighten the spine, right? Nice long spine, belly button in. Exhale down, inhale up, one more. Exhale down, let's hold for a moment. Make sure that breath doesn't stop. Keep the breath in and out. Beautiful, then come on up, pull the feet together, and come in to our butterfly pose. Maybe a little bounce in the knees. Whew, make sure that spine is nice and straight. I can feel mine slouching there, right? So sits bones into the earth, spine nice and straight. A little bit of Shavasana, feet together, a little movement for me today, with the knees bouncing. Awesome, you guys. We're gonna do that again. So you can modify with the hands behind you. It's A-okay, it is intense enough. Or you can lift the hands this time and do the full open and close, or high and low boat, however you want to call it, Navasana. Here we go. I like to start with my hands down as I lift the legs, and then I add the hands. Here we go. Nice deep inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Remember, you can go slower than I am. I encourage you not to go too much faster because you want to work with the breath. So the breaths are already shorter here. Inhaling when you come up. Exhaling when you go down. Inhaling up. Got a few more. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Two more. Inhale up. You can do it. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Pause. Pull that belly button to the spine, right? Hollow out. Beautiful. Then release all the way onto the floor. Great job, you guys. All right, before we do any more work, let's roll onto our bellies. Make sure we're getting our back muscles as well, right? Anytime we're working the front of the core, it's really important to work the back of the core too. So starting with just our Sphinx pose, shoulders above the elbows, press the feet into the earth, press the hips into the earth, pull the chest forward, use the hands to grip. Make sure you're pressing forward, pressing the hips into the earth to protect that low back. If anything feels pinchy or not good back there, just let it go. No big deal. Awesome, you guys. When you're ready, release. Go ahead, stack the hands, bend the knees. Take a little side to side windshield washer here. Nice side to side. Beautiful. Come back through center. And then let's come into a locust pose. So hands come down by this side. Now lots of options here. You can keep the hands just on the earth. If it feels better to interlace the fingers, get a little more stretch through the shoulders, you can go ahead and do that. So yogi's choice. Ready? Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And then on your inhale, start to lift the chest, press the hands back, and stay right here or at the feet, right? Engage through the glutes, point the toes, really stretch. Take your breath, make sure it's in and out. Gaze at the mat so your neck stays nice and long, right? You don't want to be like cramping or like this. Nice long cervical spine. Reaching the hands back, pointing the toes, squeezing the legs, squeezing the shoulders back. One more breath. And when you're ready, release. Beautiful. Pull the hands, bend the knees, take a little side to side. Super simple, but definitely worth it. Awesome. Okay, let's press back up when we're ready and come back on to our bums. Beautiful. Simple forward fold. Go ahead and take the legs long. I shouldn't say simple. It's very challenging actually. But bring the legs long. Remove the flesh from the side. Remember, never pulling it back, but more to the side to get those sits bones on the ground. Actually, something that Bikram teaches, which I like, is you hold the toes and you walk the hips back. It's kind of a funny thing, but it always seems to really get the sits bones on the ground. So again, just a little trick from another genre of yoga. I like taking pieces from everywhere, practicing it all, learning what works for other people. It's all good. So with those sits bones grounded, nice deep inhale, arms come up. And then on your exhale, we're gonna fold forward. Now remember here, you can bend your knees as much as you want, right? So don't be scared to bend the knees. It's nice to sometimes feel that compression of thigh and chest together. So if you have to bend your knees a lot to do that, then go ahead. Or you can straighten the legs, but make sure you're keeping the spine nice and long. And let's take an inhale. Lengthen the spine, and exhale, find your fold. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So inhale, lengthen, come up a little bit, reach the top of the head to the toes, and then exhale, release down. 1 more, inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, find the fold. As you arrive in this portion of the fold, just try to release into it. So relax. If you have a bolster or a blanket, sometimes putting it in between can help let you sink a little further. And just a nice long spine, enjoying the stretch, observing where you feel it. Most importantly, finding the breath. Letting the breath guide you deeper into a pose, guiding you through the sensations you may be feeling. One more breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, work your way up Nice job, guys. And from here, coming into, we're gonna bend the knee, bend the knees, a seated figure four. So often we do figure four on our back, you know, like this. We're gonna do it seated today. So hands come down by your side, and you have to play around with how close and how far away, and you'll see once we get into it. So remember that it'll take you to figure out what feels right for you. Left leg stays bent, right leg comes up. Now, if this isn't possible for you to bend your knee and have your foot up, then just straighten the leg out. See if you can get to here. And if you can't, then we just work on it. Bring the foot closer and closer. We're looking for that outside stretch. If it's not working at all for you, you can always roll back onto your back and try a figure four the more traditional way. So knee bent, right? And start to play with bringing that left foot a little bit closer. So I like to use my hands, and now I've turned my fingers away from my body, so I've got a little bit of a stability back there. And I start to walk that foot in a little bit, and I start to really, really feel it in the outside of my right hip. So again, your choice to get to a part where you feel sensation, right? Think about like a pigeon posture. It's that same sensation you're feeling. And so get to a point that feels right for you, and then pause, and then start to focus in on that breath. Remembering that we don't want that knee to come in. We really want to be pushing that knee out. Spine nice and straight. Use the arms for support of the back and the spine. You can even press into them a little bit. You can close the eyes down. Let yourself just breathe. Breathe into the sensation. Make the sensation intentional. And the intention might be you need something super strong today, or maybe you don't. Again, it's your practice, and you get to decide what you need in this moment. Just breathe. One more breath. Excellent. Then go ahead and release from wherever you are. Bring the legs long. Come back up to sitting if you were on your back, and give the legs a little bounce. Sometimes I even like to do a little tap on my legs. Here it comes from my days of running. A little muscle release. And then guess what? Other side. So right leg bends this time, and get yourself set up the same way. And remember, if this isn't working for you, you can always come into pigeon, or you can come onto your back. The goal is to stretch this outside of the leg. So I've just been liking this variation recently. I think because the outside of my legs have been really tight, and this just seems like a nice variation where I'm getting a ton of sensation. All right, so get yourself into your space. Remember, we don't want that knee coming in. I can see my knee coming in, pressing it out, and that might mean I need to loosen a little bit. Lock my hands in. And then let your eyes close. Let your mind focus solely on your breath. I know you've heard me say it before, but I think for most of us, it's pretty impossible to stop thinking, especially just like on a dime, just, okay, now it's time to, you're doing yoga, stop thinking about everything else. It's impossible. So being able to just focus on one thing, right? Concentration comes before meditation in the yoga 8-limb process. So being able to just concentrate on that breath, that inhale and exhale, that's where we start. We've got 2 more breaths. enjoying the sensation, enjoying the slowness, the downtime to actually stretch and feel. Not rush, 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 rush. When you get through that second breath, go ahead and release from wherever you are. Give the legs another shake, a tap, maybe just a roll around, and then let's slowly make our way onto our backs. Woo, rolling down, hugging the knees in, finding a little compression here, pulling the knees to the chest. You can even do this with a little more space in between. Allowing some rocking, some movement to happen. And eventually letting the feet come onto the ground. Keep the knees bent. And straighten out the left leg, pull that right knee in. We'll take a twist here. Little pull of the knee in and then bring that knee across the body. So as always, twists are like the best part of the end, right? Besides Shavasana. Nice twist. So if you have a specific twist that's calling to you, go ahead and get into it. I like this one today. This is what's feeling right for my body. You can straighten out the leg here. You can bend the bottom leg. Whatever's right for you. The important part is the breath and the twist here. So you can bring the gaze away. Have the arms come out. I like the hand on the leg just for a little bit more of an assist. Self-assist, pulling me a little bit deeper into the posture. I'm just releasing down. Allowing yourself to start that relaxation process. From here, coming back through center, pull that knee in one more time, right? Going out the same way we came in. Let the knee come long. Oh, and I'm feeling like a big stretch right here. So allow a nice big overhead stretch, and then bring that knee up as you're ready. Pull the left knee in this time. And remember, if it looks like I'm doing the opposite of what you're doing throughout any of the videos, just make sure you do both sides. So if I'm saying left and you've got your right one up and you've mixed it up, it's no big deal. From here, bringing the leg across, the knee across the body. This time, left arm coming out, gaze coming over my left shoulder. Whew. And again, taking whatever variation you took on the other side and mimicking it on this side. Enjoying the stretch, connecting to the breath, and all at the same time finding softness here. Letting the stretch kind of be passive instead of super active. Telling the body it's almost time for Shavasana. Two more breaths. Beautiful. Rolling yourself back over, hugging that knee in. Releasing it down. Nice, you guys. And then bringing both knees up. Bring them wide. Just give yourself a little rock side to side here. And then find any last movements you might need. And this is a great place where you can always pause a video. Sometimes it's hard to fit it all in. So if you need an inversion or you want to take a bridge or you need another twist or you're not done, like pause the video and go ahead and take that inversion, right? Or take that happy baby or whatever it is. Because the more you can tune into your practice, like I just did that big overhead stretch, right? Because I felt like I needed it as we came out of that twist. So just be intuitive and be able to feel like you can stop the video. That's the beauty of it. And keep going, and then press play when you're ready to come back and relax into Shavasana. With that said, I'm going to bring my legs long, my arms long. I'm going to put my blanket on because I'm cold in my house. Whew. Right? I like to be warm. I think most of you know that about me. I need it hot. And then releasing into Shavasana. So legs long, arms long, or any other way that you can be comfortable for the next few minutes. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Allow the body to release, relax. Let's do another one like that. Nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Relax through your feet and your legs. Separate your teeth. Turn the palms to the sky. And for the next few moments, all you have to do is be. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And just notice how you feel. Right or wrong. Just observe. It might be something physical or emotional. It might be nothing. And slowly start to find some movements. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Wiggle the jaw. Raise the eyebrows. Fake a yawn. Let those movements get bigger. Allow yourself to wake up. Stretch, whatever you need. Just like you're getting out of bed in the morning. And when you're ready, rolling to your favorite side. And taking a pause for one more breath. Pressing up to a seated position when you're ready. Getting comfortable. Keeping the eyes closed or soft. Allowing the hands to come back to heart center. Reconnecting to your breath. Bring your focus there. Allowing yourself to come back to gratitude. Noticing what comes up. And just before we end, reciting a single verse of mantra. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, yogis.